So we have a young nurse here who says that she is tired of being professional at the workplace, that she's tired of working, that I guess she's burnt out already. But she's only 28 years old. But let's get into it. See if we can't break it down, see if we can give this young lady some words of wisdom, if not some words of encouragement for her future. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Let's hit it.
Does anyone else just not care about being professional in the workplace anymore? Because I truly just don't give a fuck. I had a meeting earlier this week at one of my PRN jobs where
Whew, language. God, anyway, start over. I'm sorry.
anymore because I truly just don't give a fuck. I had a meeting earlier this week at one of my PRN jobs where they passive aggressively told us that nursing has to start doing mandatory overtime in the sense that instead of working 12-hour shifts, they want us to work 15-hour shifts because that's how understaffed they are. And I let my manager talk and finish her little spiel, and then I literally, in front of everyone, was just like, "I'm not interested in that, so let me know if I need to log on to Indeed when I get back to my desk." And she literally looked at me with her eyes all big, and the nurse sitting next to me chimed in and was like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in doing that either. So let us know what we need to do, going forward, if we need to quit or what's gonna happen." And my manager was like backtracking and stuttering and was like, "Let me get back to you. Let me talk to upper management and see what we can do." And yeah, I just don't care. Everyone in the meeting was looking at me like I was insane. Then at another one of my jobs, if you're new here, I work a full-time job and then I have a couple PRNs on the side. I was minding my business and there's this older lady who does not like me for zero, like literally no reason. Ever since I started working there, she just hates me. So I'm standing in the lab room. It's really a small room, like the size of a closet, and I'm spinning the blood that I just had drawn and I'm labeling the urine drug screen cups. And she's standing there at the door, like, literally just talking shit. "Oh, I could never do that job. That's so disgusting. You couldn't pay me $1,000,000 to do what you're doing, blah, 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 blah." And I turn around and I'm like, "First of all, you don't have a nursing license, so you couldn't do this job even if you wanted to. And number two, I heard you asking the manager for overtime because you were struggling financially last week, so you actually would do it, probably for even just $10 an hour." And I turned around and I had gloves on and was handling the urine drug screen cups, so I just used my foot to slam the door in her face. I just don't care anymore, and I don't know what it is because I remember when I was 18, like, fresh out of high school and working at hospitals and all of these, like, really professional places, I was scared of doing anything wrong to get fired, and now I'm at the point where I'm 10 years in, and I don't care because I know that you need me more than I need you, and if you fire me, I will find another job very easily. I just don't care, and I'm not putting up with it. I don't know if this is anyone else, but I'm just burnt out. And I also wanted to add that I will ride hard for my patients, and I just don't like the politics that goes into nursing and all of management and being told what to do when you don't even know how to do my job. And it's just infuriating. But I do want to make it clear that I will do anything for my patients. I will advocate for them, stick up for them, try to find resources for them. This is not aimed towards them. I feel burnt out in the sense of like management and corporate vibes and all of that. The patients themselves, I absolutely love and adore them. I love taking care of people. And that's the only reason I still do this job is for the patients. So just wanted to throw that in there real quick. Does anyone
All right. So you heard what she said. Oh, shoot, man, forgive me. Got a cough drop in my mouth, man. I had a long week last week. I hadn't made any videos in a week. But last week, man, I'm busy. Now I think allergies and signs are kicking in, but it is what it is. Still got to get through it, right? Just like a job. Even if you're not feeling well, you got bills to pay, sure you're gonna go to that job and clock them hours. But she made some good points. Uh, a lot of points. I understand her frustration being a nurse myself. It's it's a lot harder than what people think it is. I know when I was younger, all you heard people say, or women would say, they want to be a nurse so they can make a bunch of money. And because nurses make a lot of money, work make a lot of hours, they can always have a job, the typical stuff. The thing about nursing and anything, any business, really, I don't recommend anybody getting into any field strictly for money. Because if you do that, you would definitely get burned out. If you don't have a love for taking care of patients, taking care of people, you will definitely get burnt out. But we're going to go back through this video. We're going to play it again, and I'm going to stop it ever so often to break down what she's saying. And like I say, try to give some words of wisdom or some words of encouragement to this young lady and anybody else who's in this field who feel like that maybe they're burnt out and this is just not the way for them. So let's do it.
Else just not care about being professional in the workplace anymore because I truly just don't give a fuck. I had a meeting earlier this week at one.
So before we get into the meeting, first of all, language. I don't know why these young ladies love to curse so much. That is like, ooh, the most irritating thing in the world. I know she probably ain't gonna care. I know a lot of you ladies are not gonna care because you're gonna be you and accept you for who you are, right? Okay. And then you wonder why a lot of times you get what you get and you don't understand what the problem is. You know, people don't accept you. Well, everybody don't have to accept you. I mean, she was bad enough to try to make you accept people of alternate lifestyles. If that's what they want to do, let them do it. But we don't have to accept it. Just like we got ladies with these 5 miles, every other word is a curse word. And they got these bad attitudes, rolling their eyes and everything. You know, everybody's against me, everybody hating on me. Well, we don't have to accept that either. But anyway, one, like I say, the language. Two, the professionalism. What she has to understand is when you have a license, first, no, well, she didn't say the name of where she's working at, but anyway, when you have a license, you are really at the mercy of the company that you work for. And let me explain. You got a license, nursing license, you fill out a job application, resume. Well, let's say you apply for a job. You shouldn't be filling the application. But you know what I'm saying? You apply for a job, send in your resume. If you're a nurse anywhere, most likely you will get a call back. You will get an interview. Now, whether you get hired or not, it could be based on your experience or yeah, pretty based on your experience. If you got enough, too much, if they feel you may cost too much money, then they, you know what I'm saying, there are different reasons why they may not hire you. But you get hired and now you think you got, the sky's the limit with your earning potential, which it is. The thing about it is you got to understand, I've seen many times, heard many times where a nurse can get into it with a supervisor, another employee, a patient, a resident, if you work in a nursing home, whatever. And these people will call state on you and report you. Most of the times, it doesn't get anywhere. Most of the times. But there will be time, man, I've seen where a nurse and a manager or administrator got into it, not really like got into it, but they was going back and forth. The nurse wasn't trying to hear what the administrator trying to say because like she said in the video, they want you to do more and more and more and more, but yet not reciprocating the favor in compensation. And so she was like ready to leave, and he was like, "If you leave, I'm gonna go after your license." And she's like, "Okay." So then she stayed, finished the shift, and then said she wasn't coming back. But she was also a PRN nurse, and she would work pretty much almost every day if need be. So, like I said, that's what I mean by like say you at the mercy of these companies, but you don't let them know that. It's like that lady, the nurse I'm talking about, she did the right thing. She didn't get in her emotions and say F you blank and blank and walk off. She's like, okay. She stayed, finished her shift, and when she clocked out, she turned around and say, I ain't coming back. And then that's it. What you gonna do? Can't go after the person's license once they off the clock. Now, if she was on the clock and she left, it's like job abandonment. You abandon the patients. So yeah, they can go after your license and get your license suspended or what have you. So you got to be careful with that. But like I said, this professionalism, you can sit there and not be professional at your job. And your supervisor or your boss want you to be gone, but they can't really think of no real reason to get rid of you. Or they could be in their feelings and be like, look, I'm gonna do everything I can to go after your license. And they will try. Trust me, they will try if they feel some type of way about you and your attitude. So you gotta be careful. I ain't saying kiss nobody but you gotta know how to handle the situation. You a nurse. If you don't like where you work at, she said this is a PRN job. She got two PRN jobs and a full-time job. So most likely she works somewhere 3 days a week, probably working 12 hours a day. And then she got these PRN jobs that's working 12 hours a day. And they talking about increasing their hours. And she's like, she ain't having it. And probably because she's working, you know, other job 12 hours already. I just came from a job working on the floor, working, clocking in 16 hours easy. And I was like, this is just too much. This is for let the young people have this. I can't do this too much. So too much longer. And by the grace of the Most High, I got an offer for to work at this company. No, offer to work to get a managerial position where I'm working like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I'm like, sure, it's the perfect. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I probably should have did took serious long time ago, but for some reason, like I said, I mean, I want that money. But now I'm like, shoot, I ain't working that many hours no more. Get that's just too much. Like leave it for them young folk though. But anyway, let's continue.
One of my PRN jobs where they passive aggressively told us that nursing has to start doing mandatory overtime in the sense that instead of working 12-hour shifts, they want us to work 15-hour shifts because that's how understaffed they are. And I let my manager talk and finish her little spiel. And then I literally, in front of everyone, was just like, I'm not interested in that. So let me know.
But to work 15 hours, go from 8 to 15, no, 12 to 15. That means we're gonna have instead of having we're still gonna have two nurses. If she's working 12 now, that means you got two shifts. So what they're probably gonna do is have a night shift and cut that down to probably 8 hours. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, and 3. 23 the hour in between. Yeah, so like 8 hours for the night shift and 15 hours for the day shift. Man, that's diabolical. But like I said, shoot, I just got off a job. But I work well. You see, I work in dialysis in a clinic. So a lot of times you have to work from the time it open to the time it close, depending on what day of the week it is. And that could be 15 hours. Now, sometimes you can work 12 hours, but there's another nurse that's coming in to relieve you pretty much. And then once it get down to a certain census, then you will leave and the next nurse will come in. But this is you're talking about shifts. Yeah, that's 15 hours. That's quite a bit.
If I need to log on to Indeed when I get back to my desk.
Oh, let's go back.
So let me know if I need to in front of everyone was just like, I can finish her little spiel. And then I literally, in front of everyone, was just like, I'm not interested in that. So let me know if I need to log on to Indeed when I get back to my desk.
And yeah, I know like nursing homes, they'll do that. Nursing homes will you'll go in there because I tell you, I'm like a weekend supervisor sometimes. So I go to work and the nurses and the techs or the aides will be telling me, man, they talking about this, they're talking about that this is gonna be mandatory or that's gonna be mandatory. And I'm saying like it's a PRN job to me. So I'm saying like, they ain't talking about me because I mean if that's what they want to do, sure, I could go find something else. That's the thing about nursing, especially nursing home, well, hell, anywhere. You can find a job somewhere. As long as your license is standing and intact, you can apply anywhere and start work. You can apply today and probably start working tomorrow if need be. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. But you got them people that's full time, they can talk about what they ain't gonna do. But most of the times they're gonna do it because especially they've been there a long time. And maybe not like a lot of full time. Cause thing about nursing in nursing homes is that there are not a lot of nursing jobs open in nursing homes. There's a lot of CNA jobs that are open, but it's not a lot of nursing like RN or BSN, LVN. It's not a lot of them jobs open because them people get them jobs and they stay there no matter what. And so every now and then a job will come up somewhere, but most of the time that full time job you're looking for is not there. So a lot of time they gotta put up with it, but don't mean they're not looking.
And she literally looked at me with her eyes all big, and the nurse sitting next to me chimed in and was like, "Yeah, I'm not interested in doing that either. So let us know what we need to do, going forward, if we need to quit or what's going to happen." And my manager was like backtracking and stuttering and was like, "Let me get back to you. Let me talk to upper management and see what we can do." And yeah, I just don't care. Everyone in the meeting was looking at me like I was insane.
Hmm.
Then
Yeah, because they like they feel they know they because they are not in the same position you're in. They're like this is their job. They can't really leave like that. But no, I take that back. Most likely they looking at you like you are just a young, naive little girl. Because again, you never show your hand. You don't get emotional in situations like this. Like I said, I've had supervisors tell us that we had to start. Like I would go in early in the morning. I like going in early and then leaving early, especially on the weekends because it's my weekend because I work during the week. So the weekends, if I'm at work, I want to be able to work the schedule I want. I mean, if you can't do it, that's fine. I just do something else. So they came and said that all management is going to have to work 8 to 5. I said I ain't gonna be able to do it. It's not gonna be able to do. I said I cannot do the 8 to 5. So I mean, and that was just it. With no explanation. Didn't say I need to quit. You gonna fire me? Something like that. Don't never say that because I remember a lady who was a nurse, or maybe a nursing student was working at a hospital and was going through some things, and they had a meeting. She gonna say, "Well, you can, say it don't matter. You can fire me if you want to." I'm like, "Why would you say that?" Like, okay, well then okay, well, okay, then, well, you can leave. You can go ahead and turn your badge in and go ahead and leave then, because you told them that they can fire you. Basically, you saying you quit. Basically, what is how they can take it, and they put it down your records, and now it looks bad on your part. But if they want to say something about you, you want to write you up, want to try to get rid of you, verbally, you don't say nothing. Work wise, you keep the professionalism. You know what I'm saying? You be respectful no matter what. Let them do what they want to do, and if they want to let you go, then let them let you go. But you don't never show your hand because my thing is forget talking about going to Indeed. What I'm gonna do is say, okay, well, okay, you know what I'm saying? Listen to what they're saying, and then going on. And what I'm saying, when I leave the meeting, go into my laptop or go to my cell phone and go on Indeed. Or see if you can find another job and keep it going. Just say, hey, I don't know if I could be able to do that. It's gonna be a problem for me. Not really calling it out in front of everybody, but just being professional because it helps you keep a leg up on the situation.
another one of my jobs, if you're new here, I work a full-time job and then I have a couple PRNs on the side. I was minding my business and there's this older lady who does not like me for zero, like literally no reason. Ever since I started working there, she just hates me. So I'm
What they all say.
standing in the lab room. It's really a small room, like the size of a closet, and I'm spinning the blood that I just had drawn and I'm labeling the urine drug screen cups. And she's standing there at the door, like literally just talking shit. Oh, I could never do that job. That's so disgusting. You couldn't pay me $1 million to do what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. And I turn around and I'm like, first of all, you don't have a nursing license, so you couldn't do this job even if you wanted to. And number two, I heard you asking the manager for overtime because you were struggling financially last week. So you actually would do it probably for even just $10 an hour.
I wonder what was the lady's occupation? Because I was thinking maybe she was a CNA, but can't be because CNA, she's spinning blood and putting urine in a refrigerator. But the CNAs, they clean people, white people, all day, give people baths and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe she was a social worker in the business office or something like that. I don't know. But then people in the office, they really can't get overtime. Well, they can't get overtime if they're in the office. But most time they on salary or they can only be relegated to only 8 hours a day, and ain't really much else you can do after that. So I'm wondering what the lady's occupation was.
And I turned around and I had gloves on and was handling the urine drug screen cups, so I just used my foot to slam the door in her face.
Oh, she working in a clinic. That's what she's doing. She working in the clinic. To my drug screen, urine. Yeah, yeah, she working in the clinic and probably talking to a secretary lady up front who's probably not, yeah, who probably need more hours. Yeah.
I just don't care anymore, and I don't know what it is because I remember when I was 18, like, fresh out of high school and working at hospitals and all of these, like, really professional places, I was scared of doing anything wrong to get fired, and now I'm at the point where I'm 10 years in, and I don't care because I know that you need me more than I need you.
Woman, you are not even 30 years old. You got a long way to go, most high willing, to work. You definitely need to change your perspective and outlook on a professional level because you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. Or just change careers because it ain't going to get no better. That's something I can tell you. It's not going to get no better no matter where you go. You know what you need to do? Either go back to school or find you a place to work that you enjoy and try to move up into the corporate area, the business side, the corporate side, management side of it, because where the money is. Because on that floor, it ain't gonna change. It's gonna be the same thing no matter where you go. I mean, you should know that you got 3 jobs, and you're gonna see the same people go through the same thing, short staff, or short staff, so you're working overtime. People calling in, we can't find nobody to cover. You're gonna have to stay. Uh, then the next minute is we don't have enough patients, don't have enough residents, so now we have to cut your hours. It just happens. It fluctuates in cycles. So just got to get used to it, or go back to school. You know what I'm saying? Get you a job, get you a managerial job position. I know it's a headache. People say they don't want to be managers because it's not worth it, but I could deal with stuff mentally. That physical stuff as you get older, that's what's going to break you down. Like I said, I'm not going to be no 70-year-old nurse working on the floor paying my grandbabies and great grandbabies cell phone bills. Just not going to be doing it at that age. On the floor, not full time for dang sure.
And if you fire me, I will find another job very easily.
Yep.
I just don't care and I'm not putting up with it. I don't know if this is anyone else, but I'm just burnt out. And I also wanted to
Go on a cruise.
add that I will ride hard for my patients, and I just don't like the politics that goes into nursing and all of management and being told what to do when you don't even know how to do my job.
That means nothing. Just because nobody know how to do your job. Regardless, they're still your superiors. They don't have to know how to do your job. If I bought, let's say if I had the money and I went and bought, well, I am a nurse now, but anyway, let's say if I wasn't a nurse, if I had the money to go and buy a nursing home, I had just to buy a nursing home. So now I'm running it. And so now I'm on the business side of things and I'm in it to make a profit. And I'm looking and this nursing home is hemorrhaging money. I want to find out how's it hemorrhaging money. My job is not to nurse. My job is not to have a nursing license. My job is to keep this business afloat so that you or anybody else that comes after you and beyond have a job and I can make money. I ain't got to know how to do your job because you know what? You don't know how to do my job. As a matter of fact, you are not the boss. You are, to me, a subordinate. So you do what I tell you to do, no matter if I know how to do it or not. You're not in a position to sit there and say, how dare you? How dare they tell you what to do? They don't even know how to do your job. Now, I understand what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, because I'd be the first one to say, hey, they need to come out here on this floor and see what we're doing. They can't even cannulate a patient. They can't even give an injection. But they want to sit here and try to tell us, you know what I'm saying, that we should be able to do this and should be able to do that in this amount of time. It's no need to even go back and forth with them. What you do is you do what you can do, document everything, and go on from there. If you can't, what messes it up is you have people who take shortcuts. Like I know people who work through their lunch. They'll clock out and then go behind a computer and do some charting. And I'm like, what the heck you doing? And like, man, I got to. If I don't do this, I won't get off on time. See, now you messing it up for everybody because I'm not gonna work during my lunch. I'm gonna clock out and I'm walking out the building, going to my truck, going to sleep. I'm going somewhere to get something to eat. But for 30 minutes, I'm leaving that building. I'm walking up out there. I'm not even going to the break room. Especially if there are other nurses in the building. Man, I'm going, I'm like, I am by law guaranteed to have a 30-minute uninterrupted lunch break, and I'm taking it. Cause that's how you get burnt out. But people that do that, they mess it up for everybody else because now they're like, well, how are they getting their work done in 8 hours or this amount of time? But you're not, but you can't. Now, what I'm gonna do? Snitch and say, well, they working through their lunch. Like, oh my God, what? But they be knowing it. That's a funny thing about it. Management knows what be going on. Me, myself, I just try to do the right thing. I do the right thing, and no matter what, if I've never had anybody call me out for doing the right thing. And ain't nobody gonna call nobody else them out for working through their break because they want them out of there within a certain amount of time, which is jacked up. But like I said, that's the politics of the business that she was saying.
And it's just infuriating. But I do want to make it clear that I will do anything for my patients. I will advocate for them, stick up for them, try to find resources for them. This is not aimed towards them. I feel burnt out in the sense of like management and corporate vibes and all of that. The patients themselves, I absolutely love and adore them. I love taking care of people. And that's the only reason I still do this job is for the patients. So
And yeah, and that's why you'll stay there for, you'll talk noise, put up a lot of stuff, but they'll get rid of you before you leave the way it's looking. But if you got love for the patients, you'll put up with a lot. But here's what I tell you to do. Like I said, number one, go back to school to enhance your career, to get up off the floor. Because trust me, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, your body gonna be broken down. You at that floor nursing, that's for them young folk. Let them young folk do it. When you get older, get you a job in management somewhere. Or get you a job somewhere behind a desk, something, running something. Yeah, the headache is there. It's a lot of stress mentally. But if you do your job, no matter what they shove in front of you, you'll be all right. And it'll be worth it. That's the trade-off. But use this job to funnel and to fund your dream to move on up. Most of the time, people, to me, the people that complain the most don't have a plan outside of what they're doing at the time. So they're frustrated because they feel like they can't do no better. But if you create a plan, put it in motion, it makes it easier to go into your job every day and put up with the BS. That's just my opinion. What do I know? I just, 47, 40. Am I 47, 48? What's this odd number? Odd? Interesting. 48? I'm 48. Anyway, year old guy and 48-year-old man and been a nurse for about 8 years. So what do I know? Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below. Share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those four things cost maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world does here at this channel. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.